Now that we've looked at the hand from the front and from the back, we're going to just check it out from the side and just see that we can still apply the same 4 steps, even though it looks really different. So I'm still going to look at the angle that my arm has with relation to my hand. Here's my hand going off at an angle to my arm. And where my palm of my hand might be, well, it's somewhere there, but looking at it from the side, it's pretty flat, isn't it? It's narrower at the top and fatter at the bottom because of this thumb pad and the other pad over here that has muscles in it as well. So it's wedge shaped. It's thinner here from the fingers and thicker here at the bottom. But it's still the same idea. So if I wanted to draw that, let's hold our hand here so that I have some room on my paper. I'm going to draw my arm coming in again. That up. It's coming in at an angle. So that's 2 diagonal lines. Then I look at how my hand attaches. Well, this part goes almost straight up. I'm just going to show that right there. The other part goes pretty much straight up, and it has a bit of a bend in it. So I start out with that shape. Now, where's the palm of my hand? Well, there's not very much. It's something in here. So I'm just going to just suggest it very lightly. You can hardly see that. Now, there's another thing that I haven't mentioned yet, and that is if there's something that's in front of everything else, draw that first. It makes it so much easier. And what happens here is the thumb is in front of the fingers and hiding all the rest of the hand. So we're going to draw that first. So there's the thumb pad. And let's try and see, there's the curvy part there. There's the thumb going off there. There's my thumb. And there's the joint coming down, and there's a wrinkle in my hand right there. And there's my thumbnail on there. There's my thumb going off. And I'm going to draw the knuckle joint there. Maybe move my fingernail over just a tad. So I almost have my hand from the side just by drawing that. And then I go back and see what I can see. Well, I can see a bump there. That's all the muscles of the hand being squished together right there. Then I can see the back of the hand just a little bit. And then the fingers, well, I can only see one finger at this point. So I'm only going to draw one finger because that's all I can see. So that's my last little rule, is only draw what you can see. If you can only see one finger, draw one finger. The rest is hidden. So I can indicate the little, there we go, the little knuckle joints in that a little bit, and maybe make a little bump for the knuckle coming out here. But that's all I can see. And then I can go back. I can see maybe a little useful shadow here if I want to add that in for more detail. And a couple of folds in the skin if I want to help explain how my hand is bent here. I can add folds. But we don't usually go around with our hands held like that, or even really very much with our hands held like that. Our hands go into all sorts of interesting positions. So we're going to take a look at that next and see how we would use the same steps to put the hand in a more complicated position. any time that we move our hand to hold something, our hand becomes much more rounded. Here you can see that it's flat. And here you can see that the whole thumb part with the thumb pad comes around, it wraps around, and your hand becomes much more rounded. That's really important. And if you're looking at your hand from the side, holding something, you can see that the angle between the hand, or the arm here, I mean, and the hand makes a kind of a Y shape. Can everybody see a Y shape there? Yeah, this is really useful to know. So I'm going to put something in this hand, and we're going to draw that. Now you can see my hand holding a ball. I'm going to draw this just the same way that we drew the hand before. So you can see that I'm going to use some diagonal lines to show me the arm arriving at the hand. And then, as I said before, I'm going to look at how the hand attaches to the arm, and I notice that it gives me a kind of a Y shape. So there's the back of the hand going straight up, and the thumb and the thumb pad going out at an angle, which almost lines up with the shape of the arm coming in. So let's just send that out. So there we have a little bit of a Y shape. Then I go back and look for the palm of my hand. Well, this time I can't really see it. It's all got itself bent out of shape here. So what I'm going to use instead are these lines that I drew, this Y shape, and I'm going to estimate how thick I want to make that, because I can see a U shape here where the hand is holding the ball. So I'm going to go look for that. I'm going to find that and put that in, and that's going to help me fit that ball in there and my fingers around it. So then I go back to my idea that if there's something in front, draw it first. So I'm going to use the thumb here, and I'm going to draw up and around the shape of the thumb to the knuckle. There's the other thumb knuckle there, and there's the thumb pad in there. So there's the thumb that's going to be holding onto the ball. Then I can draw the ball. So some of the ball is hidden by the thumb. So the ball is actually in front of the fingers. I try to observe carefully to put the ball the right size. There we go. There's the ball. Well, what can I see? I can only draw what I can see. Basically, I can see one finger and a shadow of something in the back. So I will continue that U shape around, and I can see a bend in the finger right there. So where does the finger start? The finger starts there at the knuckle, and the first joint of the finger goes up like that. Then there's the joint of the finger there. There's a little curve right there. So that's really helpful. So I draw that. And then I'm going to bend the top of the finger over. Bend that over. And just fit that around the ball. Then I have another little bump of a joint there. Then the ball comes over, and I can barely see what's under there. I could draw a little line, but I don't really need to do any more than that. That's just to show you how to draw that finger around the ball. So I can see that I could make this angle stronger now, make that knuckle a bit bigger, change that angle a little bit to make it look more like the angle that I can see there. And I can see a little bit of a bump where the finger starts, but basically that's how I would draw my fingers around that ball. Does this look a little bit more complicated? It doesn't have to be complicated. So we're going to draw this hand holding the little racing car. We're going to start exactly the same way. We're going to look at how the arm arrives to the hand. If that's good enough, there comes the arm. We're going to look at any shapes of the hand that might be coming out from where the arm attaches. So there's a little bump here, right? A little bump. And then it goes almost straight up. And this bends just a teeny bit to go a bit more straight up. So now I'm going to look for the palm of my hand, which has gotten a little moved out of shape, but I can still see it there, right? I can still see a kind of a squarish shape, and I can look at the top part. I can really see where the fingers attach. So I'm going to bring that down, make it like that. There's the palm of my hand. And then I'm going to suggest where my fingers might come off. Is there any kind of a useful shape that might happen there? Maybe it's too soon to figure that out. I think I'm going to go back to my rule that sometimes if something's in front, it's easier to draw that first. So I'm going to go to that thumb pad, which takes up a lot of space in this position. See that right there? And I'm going to sketch that thumb pad in. And then I'm going to look at the thumb coming off that at an angle. Here comes the thumb at an angle, like that. And there's the thumb knuckle. So there's my thumb. That's going to be holding the racing car. Now what else is in front? Well, the racing car is in front of the fingers. So I'm just going to draw the racing car. So I drew my thumb pad, my thumb. Now I'm going to try and see, like, where's that racing car? Well, it's almost straight, but not quite. And it has a bit of a triangle shape to it, like that. And the wheel is right next to the thumb. And the other wheel is a little bit further away. And I don't have to draw any racing car details right now. I can just sketch that in like that. And that'll do for now. I can go back and do the details later. But you see how I've been doing this section by section. I've been trying to understand what I'm looking at and giving myself little reference points so that I can fill in the more complicated bits after. So now that I have my thumb, my car, it becomes much easier to fit those fingers in. The easiest finger to fit in will go right here, because I can just line it up with the wheel on the car. I can just draw a couple of lines. There's that finger in behind. I'm going to draw my thumb a little darker so we can make sure we understand that's in front. Then I have my baby finger. Well, that just is coming out and sitting there. And then I have the finger that's actually holding on to the car up here. And it's wrapping around the top part of the car, something like this. And you can see a couple of finger joints, but you can't see the whole finger. And then there's a space. And then there should be another finger, but I can't see it because it's hidden by the car, so I don't draw it. I can draw the car with more detail, just so that I can really see what I'm doing. There's that back part of the car there. There's the wheel of the car. There's the little place where the driver's going to sit. And there's a dark part on the front there. And there's the other wheel and the body of the car. So I can really see that the car is hiding the fingers. But that's all I need to do. I can go back and add some detail into the hand, indicate a bit more of a join here. If I want to, I can make this line stronger so that you can really see that the thumb is in front. Make sure that I get the thumb coming around on the car like that with thicker pencil line so that you can actually see that better. All of those are things that you do after you get the basic shape figured out. So there you have it. A few basic steps, a few basic rules, and you can figure out how to draw your hand in all kinds of different positions.